Hello, Musto0063 back for part 8 of Mega Man and Bass. Last time I took out Dynamo Man, leaving just 2 Robot Masters remaining. And I said in Dynamos that I thought the 3 that I had left last were the 3 worst. So yeah, second to last is going to be Pirate Man. Now the level, not so much a pain in the neck, that goes by incredibly quickly. It's actually one of the shortest in Mega Man history, I think. But the boss is, yeah, another matter. And Pirate being the water stage, clearly is going to borrow heavily from Aquaman stage from Mega Man 8. So we start off with a little bit of an open air section coupled with some water, and we have to be a little bit careful with these crab enemies. So being able to shoot through the wall certainly helps as well. Just try and take them out when they're on the side where their kind of hide is exposed, if you will. A little bit of a tricky section here. This spine enemy on the floor is really annoyingly placed in the sense that it always blocks that mechanical clown walking enemy. So yeah, kind of a little bit of a baiting out back and forth there to try and get through with no damage. And that brings us to a branching path screen. So I'm actually going to go up first of all and screw up horribly because I missed time or missed position where I wanted to go to get hit by an enemy. But yeah, there are 2 paths here, so we're going to take the lower one with Mega Man. Bass, of course, cannot take this path because we had to slide there with Mega Man. We'll see the upper path with Bass a little bit later. Screen with a couple of little enemies, nothing really to worry about, just hang back to the left and you'll be fine. This screen, look at the top of the screen. Thanks Game Boy Advance, there's a mechanical clown running around there, so don't immediately climb the ladder, wait a little bit, wait for it to have gone all the way to the left and then back to the right hand side, and then yeah, you can climb the ladder safely and take it out before it kind of comes back and hits you. But yeah, it can be a bit difficult to see, particularly first time you're playing, because the Game Boy Advance doesn't really go that high enough. Wonderful. And amazingly, I didn't actually get hit there to the spine enemy on the drop down because I invariably always do that, but for some reason I failed to jump and just ran straight into it. Submarine there, and by the way, they repeatedly spawn in, so yeah, be very quick about going through that section. We'll see a little bit later just how quick they actually spawn in when collecting a CD. Oh yeah, that'll be fun. It's not too bad, must admit, but yeah, those submarines come in really quickly, so yeah, just be quick about your movements. Apologies, we've kind of gone a long way into this screen already, but yeah, I'm going to screw up horribly on the final bit, admittedly without taking any damage or anything. It's just going to be rather tedious to watch. But yeah, basically we have a huge screen here with bubbles that Mega Man can be encapsulated in that allow us to rise up. And what we're going to want to do, at least just to progress through the level, is make our way to the right hand side and get on this final little bubble generator and then ride upwards to the right to get down to the level. It's a bit of a pain in the neck one with Mega Man. I took it very cautiously along the bottom side, along the bottom, just so that I didn't land on spikes. Bass, you can imagine, would have a hell of a easier time there because his double jump can save him. Mega Man, not so much. And here you're clearly seeing me mess up horribly on this section. If the bubble hits one of these little spike mine things, or indeed a wall, then it will pop. So you just have to be very careful getting through here. Apologies, that took way longer than I would have liked, but yeah. Bit of a tricky one, that, trying to get in between that little gap there without hitting either. We go through the little path on the right, take out that final seashell enemy, or sorry, oyster enemy, and yeah, that is the level. Already, despite my mucking around on that last bubble. And that brings us to Pirate Man, who, on the SNES version I can at least see how you dodge this, but on the Game Boy Advance I just can't. These remote mines are terrible, and now he's in the middle of the screen, it's even worse. So basically, in theory, you can like slide under them, but it seems to be incredibly finicky on that. He shoots the remote mines at you, so they home in on you. They then explode in a ridiculous radius, which invariably hits Mega Man. The best strategy I can come up with is to try and get close to Pirate Man, and then move away from him, so that remote mines don't go all the way to the left-hand side of the screen. But it's a huge pain. This attack, by the way, when the water is low, thankfully it wasn't quite so low, but he always goes across the screen 8 times there. It wasn't so low that I couldn't slide under him, but if it was a bit lower, I would have just taken about 4 hits there on that attack. It is ridiculous when the water is low. Basically, you want to, and that attack's even worse. You basically want to try and hit him when he goes into his little protective bubble and try and get him out of it as quickly as possible. It's not so bad as you saw early on in the fight if he goes like diagonally, because you've got lots of room to work with, but with the water is really low, and the water constantly recedes, by the way. Pirate Man does stop on occasion to replenish the water, just to fill the arena back up with water. But dodging that, I cannot dodge it. I cannot dodge those attacks. The remote mines in particular, I'll explain how the weapon works a bit later once we've gone through a level again and seen it and with the base and everything, but I just want to dwell on that boss fight because the remote mines just have a huge blast radius. They hone in on you. The only strategy I can really advocate is to get close to Pirate Man and then back off so that the remote mines don't go all the way to the left-hand side of the screen. That at least gives you some manoeuvrability. But if he constantly spams the bloody attack, the screen just becomes, well, there's so many on screen and the blast radius is ginormous for them. It's so hard to do that without getting hit, I think, on the Game Boy Advance. The SNES one, admittedly I've not played it, so it's a little bit just kind of my interpretation of how it looks, but I swear on the SNES, either things just move slow, the homing mines move slower, or it leaves more room for you to get round them. But yeah, on the Game Boy Advance, at least in my interpretation, is that just those remote mines are just an absolute pain in the neck to avoid with Mega Man. They're still a pain in the neck to avoid with Bass, although I think Bass just had a slightly easier time, actually, funnily enough, on Pirate Man, despite the fact that it would take longer for him to get through, or sorry, longer to beat him, because of course, again, he's got a weak buster. But anyway, that brings us to Bass, finally, and yeah, so the second screen again, we've got the branching path, so I will take the upper route, as I pointed out on Mega Man on the first time through. You have to slide to get through the bottom path, so we'll go at the top, we will use Bass's dash and double jump, and we'll mistime or misposition where we need to fall, and screw it up horribly, but yeah, that's where you need to go with Bass. And again, not immediately obvious that, so yeah, kind of have to take a bit of a leap of faith there. So again, now you know it's there, perhaps you can kind of see, make more of a point to actually see the little kind of feet of that little enemy rolling around up there. But yeah, again, if you're not paying attention and you don't know it's there, chances are you'll whack straight into it. I guarantee you, first time I played this, I crashed into that probably twice. Once with Mega Man and then once again when I played through it with Bass because I just forgot it was there. That section there, you can easily just double jump and avoid landing on the spine enemy. You can try and kill the submarine, but yeah, it's probably not worth it, frankly. Just if your Mega Man slide through, if your Bass dash through, and get through there quickly. As I say, we will see a bit later the how soon the submarines actually spawn in. And here you can see being able to do this a bit much quicker with Bass. Simply by being able to double jump, I don't have to be quite so careful about where I'm going to land. And I clear the bubble section first go, so yay. I get that last enemy. Jump all the way up without the use of the ladder, because why the hell not? And despite I'm mucking around on the first screen trying to kill one of those crab-like enemies, we're done with the level with Bass. That was even quicker. Now, Bass's double jump, at least I believe, makes this a lot easier of a fight than Mega Man, simply because you can kind of go up to the ceiling and you'll kind of see me actually being able to dodge these remote mines a lot easier or a lot nicer with Bass. Not quite so much at the beginning of the fight, but from this point on it actually goes pretty well. I can't really complain about much of the rest of the fight. I think I still get hit once or twice, but Bass's double jump ability just means you can kind of go above the remote mines and kind of fake them out another way. And yeah, it's just a bit easier to dodge. This attack, again, because Bass can't slide, dash I think will probably be a bit too high, but by double jumping up, that's really easy to avoid. You also don't mind, it also doesn't matter if the water is really low at that point, because again, Bass's double jump will comfortably get you high enough to deal with it. I would suggest actually trying to shoot Pirate Man's bubble so that he doesn't do this where possible, but still, if he's going to do it with Bass, it's not so much of a problem. And you can actually kind of see me seemingly somewhat getting the hang of this fight. Believe me, that's not the case. It's more good fortune than anything else. Admittedly, there's probably some familiarity with that, and I was kind of trying to getting into a little bit of a rhythm there with Bass, but you can still see he kind of took half my health out. It's the bloody remote mines. The other attacks I don't find quite so or nearly as much annoying with Bass to avoid as opposed to Mega Man, but still, Pirate Man just I do not like that boss fight. So the weapon, we get remote mine. So basically, it will home in on an enemy, and you can detonate it at will. So you can kind of see there's a bit of a delay between it actually exploding. So you can also use this to blow up blockades as well. So and it's very controllable as well. You can kind of like weave it all over the place, and we'll actually see us having to actually use that ability a bit later. It's incredibly annoying, by the way, and you can pretty much drain your weapon energy trying to do it. But yeah. Very versatile weapon, that. Not one I would tend to use that often, but it can be used if you're skillful enough to pretty much direct a blow-upable weapon anywhere on screen. But anyway, that's the playthroughs with Mega Man and Bass, or at least the main part of the levels, done in under 10 minutes. So onto the CDs. And the first one there, hopefully you saw with the sparkles, was underneath that crab enemy on the first screen. So yeah, shoot the enemy off the platform, get out Rush, and dig on that platform. So a little further in, so this is the second screen again. There are actually only 10 CDs on Pirate Stage as well, so yeah, most of the other ones have about 12 or 13, but Pirate only has 10. You see me do this bit a lot better now. So Leap of Faith. Not that you're going to do that the first time, or you're highly unlikely to do that the first time, I would suggest. But yeah, anyway. Lower route again. Hopefully you saw the sparkles there under that spike mine. And the wave burner weapon actually has an extra use underwater. It can be used as a kind of a jet propel to yeah, move these mines out of the way. So yeah, can be very useful, particularly on the final screen if you're having or the bubble area screen if you're having trouble with those blasted mines being all over the place. I'm not going to do too much skipping at this level actually, since it is so short. I'll do a little bit, but yeah, since it is so short, I don't really need to do too much. CD there, you can clearly see, you saw it probably twice before already on the Mega Man and Bass go-throughs. And of course we have to get it from the right hand side, so yeah, I dropped down earlier, so this time just yeah, make your way over to the left hand side. A couple of the oyster enemies, which are a little bit annoying because you can't really attack them from the right hand side, so just be careful with your jump over. Make sure you're not jumping over when they're firing the bubbles up, and make sure that you time your jump sufficiently well so that you don't land on the oyster. But yeah, and of course all the enemies spawn back in once you will make your way all the way over to the left, so yeah, don't just slide back through the area. Make sure you take out all the enemies. CD in plain sight there. And I'm being a bit careful on this screen just to take out all the enemies, so yeah, you'll see me kind of try and kill all these crab enemies, just because I don't want any distractions on the screen. When I eventually do it, yeah, pay attention to the right hand side of the screen, sparkles. So yeah, I would like to take out all these crab enemies, so just make sure the screen's completely clear, no distractions for Rush whatsoever. I don't think, to be honest, there's any real way that he would get hit since he's sufficiently low down anyway. As you can see, one of the enemies is respawned in anyway, so yeah, he's sufficiently low down so that he's not going to get whacked, but yeah, just my own peace of mind, I thought it was probably worth taking out all the enemies. And there is my customary get hit to that spine, since I always seem to drop onto it. And yeah, here we go, Rush search in this section. So as soon as the submarine is out of the way, get Rush digging, and yeah, there's just enough time to dig out the CD before the next one comes in. So yeah, you kind of get an appreciation there of how quickly the submarines kind of repeatedly spawn in. Now, I won't make you watch me pass through. I'll wait for the submarine to go through, so I'll just skip that bit. And we come to the bubble area, and this one is very difficult. So as you can see here, you kind of want to go for the first bubble, bear left initially, then bear a little bit right, and then bear back to the left. These are incredibly hard to get first time around, because you're just going to be careering into all these spikes. Not one hit kills, of course, but yeah, some of these ones are particularly annoying to get, particularly the first time, because you're not going to know where to go. So for the second one on this screen, get to the third bubble generator from the left, go kind of straight up, bear a little bit to the left, and then bear hard right, and you'll come to this middle plateau area with a treasure chest on it, sparkles underneath it, so take out the treasure chest which attacks you, get out Rush Search, and dig in the centre of the platform. So that just leaves one, and not knowing exactly where all these blasted mines are, I just slid down to take a hit. Oh well, I wasn't really being close to dying, so yeah, no problem. And joy upon joys, we did the last one, we have to use this last bubble again. So yeah, we took a little bit of a kind of a shortcut, or not a shortcut, because obviously it's the way to the end. I get this right second time, so don't worry, I'm not going to be here ages. But of course, during the regular playthrough, I just kind of took this was a stop here, over there on the right hand side. But we're going to go a bit further up. We're going to bear a little bit left, then we're going to bear right. We'll get to the top right hand area of the screen. Another treasure chest, 4 responses from attackers, and there's the CD. And that was all the Mega Mans, and yeah, Bass isn't going to get much airtime like with Dynamo. Unfortunately on this one, there's only one CD that I only really need Bass for, so yeah, it ends in the second screen with the branching paths. Probably saw it, frankly, when we were playing through with Bass, so go the higher route, dash and double jump over. We'll get the placement right this time. And there is a CD just sitting there on the upper platform. So yeah, that's all the CDs. That's Pirate Man stage done. It's a very short video. Hope you enjoyed it, and hope you join in next time for the final Robot Master. Until then, cheerio.